the overall people have to be paying attention to what's going on in House and the Senate and presidency and all that other stuff.
Well, I can't wait.
The easiest way for something to start to pass is to show the American people how many people are in private prisons for nonviolent offenses, how long they've been there, and how much revenue has been going through that prison.
Bro, the numbers don't matter until people want to see it themselves.
Yep.
You can put them. I mean, because I've had so many conversations. Like, working in higher education has been the most rewarding, frustrating thing I've ever done in my life. And I've been working in higher education for 10 years because higher education is the most progressive, learning, developing, helping people grow. But also, higher education has the most educated idiots I've ever seen in my life. Where, I mean, because you have these learned people with all these doctorate degrees, and they sit there.
Amy Coney Barrett.
I mean, Obama said it best. He's like, hey, just because they're in these positions of power don't mean they're smart.
I tell you, so I've had these conversations and showed people the statistic. I had a conversation with a professor that didn't understanding the redlining of how systematically lower income neighborhoods going to have less school funding than higher neighborhoods that have higher property tax, and he didn't believe that.
This is why.
And I showed him to him, and he said, well, I don't know. I have to do some more research on that. I'm like, I'm providing you the research.
You realize you work in Indiana, right?
Every professor can't be Alan Specter.
You know what? And yes, Alex Specter was a very progressive psychology teacher. He was awesome. So it's just like, I worry about.
He's at Purdue?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and he was put it right on the line, and just be real with it. Like, yeah, we suck. He said, this country is. I'm sorry for you guys, man. Do better. But pretty much, like, me saying all of that, just the whole fact is that the biggest thing that's going to change is that not convincing people that are stuck in their ways, newer ways, but actually the people that know what they want to do and the direction they want to go with the country to start taking power. Because I think it's time out. Like, the education piece can only go so far.
Having more people like AOC.
Yeah. Like, the education piece can go so far.
If I had 300 AOCs.
Dude.
I mean,
they ain't ready. They ain't even ready for the regular AOC.
They ain't ready for the one we got.
Right.
Listen, if we had,
like, she's 30 years old and kicking her ass.
If we had 300 members of the squad in the house.
Man, that's when America started to wake up. 2 years ago when the squad came into power.
Man.
Nothing is going to be more powerful than marketing. Money and marketing is always going to be the deterrent for someone to run an office. Because whoever's more powerful and has more money is always going to look like a better candidate.
Control the media. You control the voice of the people.
Because you can tell me I'm trash once. But if I'm rich, I can tell people you're trash 10 times.
Yeah.
And hit every market in different languages, different
or you could do it every hour on the hour.
Every hour on the hour.
Hashtags, take a pace off Snapchat.
I could put a bus ad in front of your house.
And park the bus there.
But you know what? I think with this being the age of technology and information, what that will do, though, is make somebody be like, well, let me go look into this guy. Because I keep seeing all this stuff about him. Let me go see what's really up. You know, and that's the direction we're moving into. Because 4 years ago, 8 years ago, 4 years ago, if you was to see that, you'll look at it and be like, oh, okay, he's trash, and keep on going. And now we're moving into an era where people are doing a lot more fact checking.
Cancel culture is getting real.
But the problem with that is if you start getting social media popular and like going that route, money comes. And then like you get guys like what's the smart dude that we were talking about last week?
Ben Shapiro?
You get Ben Shapiro's. Ben is smart. He could run if he really wanted to. He knows enough about politics to run, but the money's in having his own show. You know what I mean? So like you might get these good people who are gonna go that route, or they'll go where the money is and just be talking about it. You know what I mean?
Well, that's also a bigger reason why he's in the position that he's in, and along with a bunch of other people like Candace Owens and a couple other people. It's like they got into that propaganda section, and then people started dumping money towards them.
Mm-hmm.
And
to keep it going.
Yeah, to keep it going and make them popular and make them seen all the time. Because guarantee you, if they weren't getting paid the amount of money,
no one would know who they were.
They probably wouldn't be saying the stuff that they say or do, and second, then no one would know who they were.
You know, they remind me of the episode of Boondocks with the when they had the chick when they went on TV about when Riley had the whole situation with the teacher, and then they was on TV, and you found out the chick, she was playing it the whole time. She was doing it for the money.
Oh yeah, it was Ann Coulter.
Yeah.
They said, "Yeah, girl, hey, what's going on, bro?" They said, "What's going on? You doing good, Ann?"
I mean,
but it's like that because like I said, I'm Candace. I'm one of probably top 10 people of I Hate Candace Owens fan club. I say that all the time, but it's not just because of the things that she says, because she's horribly wrong with a lot of things, and there's a lot of instances where she shows that she's terribly uneducated. But my problem with her is like her history and her being a fraud, because she will go out there and say, "Oh, racism wasn't a big thing when I grew up." Woman, you won $35,000 in your town for literally the mayor's son of that district called her and gave her death threats, and she left school. And it was a big lawsuit and everything, and the NAACP helped her get $35,000 in a settlement because of that. Just for her to turn around years later and say, it was just a big misunderstanding.
You know why she doesn't feel like that's racist? Because most niggas wouldn't have won that. That's why she's like, oh, the system works. Racism ain't affecting it.
She supports.
So she didn't get burned like the rest of us would have. Because nigga, I would have lost that. They'd be like, oh, this coon ain't trying to just get some money.
But nobody said she would have lost it if it wasn't for the NAACP helping her.
Like I try to be positive sometimes and think that people will fact check on their own.
No.
But it's,
You don't fact check.
Yes, I do.
Bro, come on. Okay, all right,
Nah,
bro.
man. Like y'all have heard some of the situations I've told you within the past few days. Like, I listen to stuff. I listen to stuff by Alex Jones, but I don't leave everything.
I have too many instances when I have heard you say verbatim, "Oh, okay, I need to look that up." Oh,
No,
okay,
and I'll say that. I say that's what I say. I need to look that up.
I have so many
Or
instances
I didn't know that.
where I would tell you something and I would tell you to go look it up so we can continue the conversation, and you don't.
I do go look it up. I just don't get back to the conversation because I forget.
No, but you still have the. Okay, I'm not going to stand on this topic. Do ahead.
Well, okay, so
But like I said, we do need to fact check that stuff, and especially filtering through a lot of the propaganda that a lot of people pass. Because what were the key things that